the shadows, like an army in the night. Lock the doors and board the windows. Oh, oh, a storm is coming that you can't escape. Tears are falling like blood and rain. Oh, a storm is coming. Oh.
Hey guys, quick warning, there is a polar vortex coming down towards the US from Canada. Temps are going to be pretty cold, definitely below freezing. We're just going to go ahead and pass the time here because you're really going to see this peak January 7th through about January 9th. These temps are going to get incredibly cold. So let's just go ahead and kind of pass through here and you can see what you can kind of expect for each day. And about right there is where it's getting to that point, you know, early Saturday morning, the 4th. Then it backs off. Sunday, same thing, backs off a bit. And Monday, again, it strengthens, it backs off. And then coming down here on the 7th is where you're really going to see it strengthen the early hours of the morning. And so looking at some of these states, you're going to have temps, you know, South Dakota, -21, North Dakota, -23. You know, just kind of moving eastward. You can see those winds as well, really shifting eastward. So you have those southeast winds. And this is where it really expands here. This is early Wednesday morning on the 8th. And again, you got those negative temps. In some cases down past -30. Right? There's -33 right there. I mean, yeah, these temps are going to be brutal. And this is not wind chill, right? This is just straight temperatures. What you're going to see here, right? There's wind chill's going to be even colder. You might see wind chills of -40. Right? So you guys prepare, right? You folks on the East Coast, it's going to get pretty cold, but you folks in the Midwest, it's going to get real cold for you. But let's kind of go past here. And again, we can see it kind of go down pretty far here, 7 a.m., right? So even you folks in Missouri, right? Even southern Missouri, you're going to be in the negatives, right? This does not include wind chill either. Right. So again, it's going to be real cold for you folks. And then coming back up here, we're at -35 degrees. Again, this is not wind chill, right? You guys make sure to have your heaters ready, right? We should be prepping these things to begin with. You guys should be prepared. And going into the 11th, right, it kind of shifts, you know, pretty far eastward and breaks up from there. But certainly the 7th to the 8th, it's going to be pretty rough, right? So make sure that you guys are staying warm. Make sure that you guys have things like wool blankets in your vehicles. Make sure you carry multiple layers of clothing in your vehicles. Make sure you have emergency supplies, right? Things that you need to survive the winter should be in your vehicle at all times, right? So as the seasons change, you want to reevaluate your bug out bags, you want to reevaluate your vehicles, you want to reevaluate your preparedness plans and your responses to certain things that can happen during that specific season. We'll be live tonight discussing this and what you can do in regards to winter preparedness. We'll see you live tonight. God bless.
The start of 2025 is set to have the coldest January in over 80 years. This rare polar freeze will see temperatures 20 degrees lower than average, and this is happening just after 2024 was announced as the hottest year ever recorded on planet Earth. This polar wind is going to hit the US on January 6th on a Monday. The temperatures in Wisconsin being as low as negative 38 degrees, and in North Dakota, negative 39. The southeast are going to see negative temperatures routinely for about 2 weeks, which is something we've never seen before. All while California sits in the 60s. 2024 had the highest ever spending to reduce climate change, but it did nothing as 2024 was the hottest year on record, passing 2023. These polar winds are going to set in place for about 3 to 4 weeks, and it's going to bring snow, sleet, and hail all across the US, which is going to interrupt many major sports games. And if you're wondering if this is in Celsius, no, this is in Fahrenheit. And by the way, this green right here just above Maine is going to be negative 60 degrees Fahrenheit, as it's going to be colder in the US than it is in Canada in January for the first time in recorded history.
2025 is going to be terrifying starting January. We're talking about a polar plunge in the eastern United States does not been seen in decades and extremely dry conditions in California.
Arkansas, it is about to get very cold the first half of January. Model above. See all that pink? That's a great indicator for well below average temperatures across our region. That includes us here in Arkansas. But just how cold are we talking? Well, let's go over that. So this is just one model, and it shows temperatures. This is about a week or so into January, around 30 degrees below average across most of Arkansas. Now, I think this is a pretty aggressive solution, but still 30 degrees below average. Guys, we're entering January, which is our climatological coldest time period in our calendar here. January is where we get most of our cold air, January and February. So when we see averages this far below, we're talking really cold air, like legit highs in the teens, low 20s at best, with lows below zero, even here in Arkansas. For transparency purposes, this is another model set. This is the Euro Ensemble, which I trust greatly. It does me well when it comes to this sort of stuff. And this is showing the greens and the dark purples well across our region in the eastern US. Without saying it like 10 times in this video, I don't know how else to communicate this other than the first half of January in most of the lower 48 looks very cold, and that includes us here in Arkansas. For now, I would expect very cold to, at times, possibly substantially cold air across our region as we go into January, maybe even into mid-month as well. And by the way, this is nothing new for Arkansas or much of the southern US. We experienced cold just like this in February of 2021, December of 2022, and about a year ago in January 2024. So nothing new. It's wintertime, it's going to be cold, but there are levels to cold. There's a difference in highs in the mid to upper 30s or highs in the teens, especially at this latitude down here in Arkansas, where generally it's pretty mild.
Good evening, everybody. Don't go anywhere if you live in these blue outlined areas, which is Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, South Carolina, and North Carolina. You're really going to want to watch this, what's coming up in the beginning of January. Watch this. And this is the GFS model. Y'all going to want to see about January 3rd. Y'all keep track on that. It's 24th. Got a system coming through. A few little systems coming through. Y'all pay attention up here. This system that I'm talking about is going to come out of Colorado right here and swoop down our way. You see it right here, come around right about now. There it is. Look at that. Snow right here where I'm at. Are you kidding me? Look at that snow right there where I'm at. Guys, this is supposed to affect Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and possibly Florida Panhandle. We're going to have to wait and see about that. Where the rain and snow line ends right here in Florida. But this thing just takes and hauls off like this. Guys, we might have a white, not Christmas, but a white New Year's Day or whatever. So we're looking at around January 3rd, where I said that at the beginning of January, we're looking at a pretty good Arctic front coming down, and it does look like a strong Arctic front, guys. Really does. Right here in Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi, we might get quite a bit of mixed precipitation. Maybe not all snow. It may be freezing rain, sleet, and stuff like that. But I've never seen that before that close to me. So I'm getting kind of excited right here on January 3rd. You see the January 4th right there. And then it just scoots on to the east right there. Peace. Love y'all.